And that's right. You're locked into another show. It's going down, so you know. Okay. And man, we are recording our last episode of the new year. Okay. Not last show ever. Okay. We got another, 15, 20 more years to go. But the new year, man, the year is over. You know, we just want to spread love and positivity. I had a horrible year, but guess what? I'm here. And you got to fight. That song right there, the theme song of that show, of our show, you know, is the song that I want to hear. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Life is gonna be hard, but you can't run from it. You can't hide from it. You got to embrace it and face it. Okay, and that's the motto to all y'all people going through stuff right now. I hope everybody have a good year. 2025. Okay, I'm gonna say with my chest. Okay, from the east to the west. Okay, we here. I got my Jay-Z on, turn my mic up, man. I'm excited. Okay. I'm very excited right now. I don't know how to act. Okay. The reason why is because there's nothing more that I love doing than being here on this mic with my guys. Nothing better. Um, and I'm here. We got a loaded show. It's going down. The NFL is getting down to the nitty-gritty. We got coaches in the NBA getting fired. Okay. We are going to talk about all that on today's show. So if you love sports, okay, make sure you stick around because it's going down. So let it be written. So let it be done. Lil Shadamas is on the mic right now. And I'm going to pass over the mic to my guy Zay, who's in the building. Zay, how you feeling?
Man, listen, the vibes is great right now. Happy New Year's Eve to everybody. Enjoy your time with your loved ones. Shout out to Kenny. I haven't spoken to him in months, damn near. Shout out to Kenny. Listen, the last show of 2024 has been a chaotic year, to say the least. I hope everyone enjoyed the year as much as they can. I hope everyone gets a better year next year. But I can't wait to talk about today's slate. I have a lot of ammunition for today. I've been holding on for a very long time throughout this entire NFL season. But before we even get into that, we have to talk to the one and the only Freddie System. Talk to us. How you feeling?
Well, I'm here. I might be hurt, might be injured, but I'm not out. I'm still here, baby. And to make the last show of the season, it's going to be crazy. I got a lot to say. You got a lot of great topics. You know what I mean? We got Zay, I got Cuzzo. We gets it in hard. We keep it 1,000. You know what I mean? No matter we hurt each other's feelings, it is what it is. Freddie System, ready to roll.
And we might as well begin, okay? We are going to start off in the NFL here because my guy, Raheem, okay? Raheem the Dream. It was a nightmare on Sunday night. Let's be clear. And we're going to hear from him right now after the loss, and then we're going to pick up with the topic that we have for the people. So obviously we all know that the Falcons did not win the game. And obviously some bad management there. Let's hear from Raheem.
Did you take the timeout after Darnell's catch first down?
Probably could have. I thought we can get to the line of scrimmage with our operation, be a little bit faster there, get him there without going on the fast on our ball, try to save that timeout. In hindsight, could have been a good decision or a better decision to take that timeout, but I wanted to have the opportunity to move up there. So, you can always second-guess those things. You can always second-guess those motives. You can always go back and look at it and see if you can get it snapped a little bit quicker. But I really believe we can get our operation time a little bit faster there to be able to save that timeout, still be able to click off, potentially get the pass interference, have a couple more snaps there, save the timeouts, and be able to use them there to get that field goal a little bit closer.
All right, let's begin. All right, if the Falcons don't make the playoffs, should Raheem Morris' job be on the hot seat? And Cuzzo, the mic is yours.
If they make the playoffs, his job should be on the hot seat. Listen, if they make the playoffs, it's by default. That means somebody else lost. It's not because of what they're doing. You understand what I'm saying? Right now, they're not going to make the playoffs. They need help. So this is not something that he's doing or they're doing. Let's be clear. The Atlanta Falcons is a bad organization. They won championships. They got championship pedigree over there? No. So this starts right from the top, and it trickles all the way down. When you walk into their facility, when you walk into their building, nobody is screaming championships. Nobody is screaming winning. Okay? So to me, this organization, they need a full clear out. Okay? They need to get cleansed out right now. And if you want to stay mediocre, keep them. Because that's what y'all been doing for the last 50, 60 years. Mediocre. Did they make a Super Bowl at least? No, they didn't. Okay? So at the end of the day, this is just a bad organization. Okay? Now, as far as the head coach is concerned, you know what I mean? It's not his fault entirely. It's not his fault entirely. It's the organization. When you got a toxic organization, you will toxic the head coach. You will toxic the players. It's like cancer. Just spreads throughout. Everybody gets rotten. Okay, so I'm not really coming at him per se. It's the organization per se. They're not going to make the playoffs because they need help. Tampa Bay is probably going to win. They're going to get knocked out. They're going to fire their head coach, and they're going to continue to do this year in and year out, year in and year out for probably the next 25 years. Okay, maybe the next 30 years. Because clearly, when have they won? This is a team that's been in existence, I want to say 1978. No Super Bowl attempt. What's this? Okay. So
28-3.
What are we talking about? What are we doing here? They're not. This is not a championship team. So, not a championship organization. He's not a championship coach. I don't think he's a head coach that can lead a team to a championship. There's nothing else to say about that. Okay. So yeah, his job is in jeopardy, but the organization is in jeopardy. They need to move on.
Say the mic is yours.
The Falcons had a lot of tough losses this season. I know the fans are dreading a lot of those games. A lot of those games are one possession games that could have all easily got them a division win if they won those games. Yeah. And I can only go back to one person throughout this entire season, who's the finger point, who's to blame, and really berate, and that's Arthur Blank. He halted the hiring of Bill Belichick, a coach who has championship pedigree, who knows how to get the best out of their players, even though the New England Patriots didn't always have the best draft picks. Didn't always get the number one prospect out of the draft board. But he knew how to get guys that could fit in a system. He knew how to get the best out of guys and get those guys to win and help win a championship, secure championships. But what they did, they axed that signing. They brought in Raheem Morris. And as Raheem Morris said in this interview, kind of is a statement throughout the entire season, second guessing. And that's exactly what he's been doing this entire season. He's been second guessing himself, second guessing who his personnel is. He's talking about he wants faster sets. He wants to move faster, get faster to the line of scrimmage. We're what, week 16? And this is what you're talking about, week 16?
Yep.
That's not good. He is not prepared to be the head coach for this team that needed veteran leadership. People thought it was only at the quarterback position. They thought bringing in Kirk Cousins was going to fix that veteran leadership in that locker room. That head coach himself needed to change. It could not have been him to be the head coach to fix that team that was very young and they were missing a leader. Kirk Cousins, coming back from a torn Achilles, did all he could possibly do off that one season. Now, I know Leel's going to say that's an excuse. He played well, and he should have played well coming in. He was not healthy at the beginning of the season. We all saw him. He did not look good at the beginning of the season.
He didn't look good in the end of the season, to be honest.
But the biggest mistake out of this whole thing, right? One was not hiring Belichick, right? The other one was drafting Michael Penix after you just paid Kirk Cousins all of that money. That made zero sense. If the plan was to draft a quarterback, why pay Cousins? If that was the plan from the get-go, why pay Cousins? Penix wasn't even the best prospect available when they drafted him. And the fact that they thought they needed him right away makes zero sense. Raheem Morris' job is in jeopardy, but not because he's a terrible coach, not because he can't coach in the NFL.
Right.
It's because Arthur Blank and that front office hindered him from the beginning to succeed. And now he's doing the best he could as a rookie head coach to get his team to play winning football. A roster that I said before the season started should have won the division. They should have been in the lead for the division. And with that talent on that roster, this coach cannot get those guys ready to go because he doesn't know what schemes he wants to run. Doesn't know if he wants to run a hurry-up offense. Doesn't know if he wants to do this, that. These sets, we're talking about a week 16 that should have been established in the preseason. So I think you could say his job is in jeopardy because of basically the conclusion what might be him not making the playoffs.
I mean, look, I expected better from Raheem Morris, even though, it's his first year with the Falcons. It's not his first year coaching, so I expected. That's why you have experience, right? That's why in your resume you get a job if you had experience in the field, because you should know certain things that other people that doesn't know what to do know. Okay. And look, you could look at it from a lot of ways. Obviously, the decision that he made ultimately is probably going to cost him a playoff, appearance, right? With that being said, I don't think his job should be in danger. In some ways, the Falcons trading up to draft Michael Penix Jr. not only felt like quarterback insurance, but it felt like head coaching security insurance, right? Because when you make a move like that, what you're saying is that there's a plan that's beyond 1 year. It's not all in with Kirk Cousins like we initially thought. Imagine if they didn't draft Michael Penix Jr. and they went all in for Kirk Cousins and they don't make the playoffs. Now you're on the hot seat. But because you drafted Michael Penix, the plan to me was that, okay, it's not only about this year, not even about this year. It's about the year after that. It's about grooming the quarterback whom we traded up to draft, who is a rookie. And obviously, I think that gives him some leeway here. Now, look, I want to talk about the sequence, the final sequence of the regulation, right? Not overtime, but the regulation. I want to play this clip because clearly my guy should have called the timeout here. Obviously, Michael Penix, he completes the ball to Darnell. And obviously, you get down, you got 2 timeouts, 30 seconds left, and all I'm seeing is tick, tick, tick. And, you know, they literally taking a time like they had the ballerina dance, you know, and not hurrying up to call a timeout. Look, why would you put that much pressure on your rookie quarterback? It's bad enough you threw him out there, his second start, career start, prime time, with the stakes being as high as it was. Call a timeout, allow him to catch a breath, allow him to get the right, correct play that you want to run, and then execute it and try to get closer to the game-winning field goal. Obviously, the game-winning field goal was not a winning field goal because it was a little bit short. You get a couple yards, maybe we're having a different conversation right now. So clearly, it was coaching malpractice. And then when you look at the drive before halftime, they had I believe it was a 17-7 lead, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but they had an opportunity to go up 2 scores. And once again, they didn't use their timeouts. These timeouts do not transfer over to the next game. Okay. I'm not sure if you know that, Mr. Raheem. Okay. You got to use your timeouts. Okay. That you use it for the game for a reason. All right. And because he didn't do that in the first half, when the half was ending, guess what? Washington was able to come back, limit the possessions that the Falcons had offensively, and dominate the time of possession, which only gave Michael Penix a little bit of, you know, opportunities to match what Jaden Daniels was doing. And when he did match what Jaden Daniels was doing and had an opportunity to win the game, Raheem Morris forgot his name. Okay, he forgot to call a timeout, or probably didn't forget to call it. He just didn't call it. It was just malpractice right there. So to me, I don't think he should be on the hot seat. You know, it wasn't perfect, obviously. You want to be in the playoffs, but let's be real. You know, he's a player's coach. Clearly, they like playing for him. Clearly, I see some defensive improvement. I would have loved to see a complete game defensively. I thought the first half of the game, you did a good job on containing Daniels in the pocket. I don't know what happened in that second half, but clearly he had about 300 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and some big runs in the second half. But the last couple of weeks defensively, I've seen some improvement. Obviously, with Raheem Morris taking a bigger role, calling the plays a little bit more than he had all year. So I don't think he should be on the hot seat. Trust me, it's bad, but he shouldn't be on the hot seat.
Listen, who do you think made the call to bench Cousins?
I think that was probably ownership.
That was ownership, right? That was the front office ownership call for sure.
Front office, right? I totally agree, and that's the problem. If you don't have the confidence in the decision making of your head coach, he's not a leader of men. He should have pulled that plug a long time ago. Okay, so the simple fact that you got to wait for ownership to make a call on the field, then what you here for? What are you here for? If I'm making decisions for people that's going to be on the field, I don't need you here as a head coach. And then the player's going to look at you like, well, are you the leader or not? Who's making these decisions, baby? Okay? And if you can't make the decision for us, how the heck am I going to follow you? I'm a man. I'm not going to follow a man that got to follow the next man. Okay? Are you the leader or not? And if you're not the leader, you're not the guy. It's a wrap, bro. You're going to lose your locker room like that. He's not even making the calls for his own team. Okay? He got to be a man and stick by his decisions. He got to have decisions with conviction. Listen, you the starter, or yo, dude, you ain't playing well. You're going to be held accountable. You threw 4 interceptions. You going on the bench. We starting him. You got to roll with it.
But it's counterintuitive. If the owner wanted a guy that was going to make decisions, you know, by himself, then why didn't you hire Bill Belichick? That's not Raheem Morris' fault.
Listen,
Bill Belichick, you know, obviously.
That's why we said organization.
Yeah.
That's exactly why me and Zay said this organization stinks. That's the reason. There is no championships here. They're not winning championships like this. This is a bad organization.
Yeah, it is, and that's why you hire Bill Belichick. If you have a problem with or you have to buzz down and make certain decisions, you hire Bill Belichick. Even if you hired Bill Belichick, though, it wouldn't have changed the fact that Kirk Cousins stunk it up. This guy clearly was a bad fit. So even if you have Bill Belichick, he can coach what he want to coach and how you want to coach. But Kirk Cousins clearly, I mean, the system didn't fit. You know, this system with Zach Robinson requires a lot of movement in the pocket. This guy is coming off an Achilles injury, age 36. Okay,
and
you can't expect him to move in that pocket.
Oh, he was never mobile. But my thing is that Belichick, his scheme is a lot different, right? And Belichick, no matter what quarterback Belichick had in that pocket, he made sure to protect the quarterback and get the ball out quick. He did it with Brady. When Brady got hurt, who he did it with? Matt Castle, Jacoby Brissett, Jimmy Garoppolo. The list goes on and on. Mac Jones. So Belichick knew how to make sure the quarterback got the ball out quickly and protect the quarterback. But Raheem Morris' system was entirely different. He had Kirk Cousins running plays out the pistol in the first 4 weeks. Kirk Cousins looks extremely uncomfortable out there. We saw it.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like I said, it's an organization dysfunction because, and this is the issue, right? Because I don't know what these how the front offices make decisions nowadays, but it seems like they listen to the fans now more than ever because everyone keeps they're a quarterback away. We saw with the Falcons, we saw with the Jets, we saw with this team, that team, X, Y, and Z, and they make all the wrong moves that hinder the team and makes them look worse than last year. They just fired Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith was to blame for the Falcons' dysfunction. They come back the next season, they look just as bad with a way better quarterback. Two way better quarterback than they had last year. And the fact that they still look terrible, they still look bad. Kyle Pitts still can't create separation and play like the guy he was drafted to be. It makes zero sense.
How many coaches are y'all trying to fire before y'all get the right hire is my point. Clearly, it's organizational. One more point, cousin.
Organizational, but cousin, you got to understand something, man. Like when you hire a head coach, you hire them off of expertise. You got to let football people make football decisions. You as an owner, make business decisions, bro. Yo, tell me how much the food costs, baby. How much the liquor costs, man. How much parking costs? You stay on the business side. I'm a football dude. I'm a football expert. Let me make football decisions out here. Yep. And if I can't make football decisions and you want to cross business decisions with football decisions, it ain't never going to work. You got to hire a guy that is an expert of football. That's the problem with Dallas right now. Same problem here going on with Atlanta. Same problem going on with the Jets. Yo, stay on the business side, bro. You ain't in this meeting right now. You hired me to make all of these decisions right here, man. It don't concern you. Sign the check, bro. That's it. Sign the check.
And that's why I don't think he's on the hot seat. Because look, it's not perfect. I'm not sure what. And look, it is a down season compared to my expectations. I predicted the Falcons to win the South from the beginning of the year. I even predicted, that Raheem Morris was going to be coach of the year. I thought it was his time. I thought that all the experience he had as a DC, and doing a good job at that, which earned him this job. I thought that it was just going to come together with all the moves that they made throughout the offseason. I thought it was going to come together. Clearly, it hasn't. And clearly, the hire of Robinson, right? As I'm choking up, I mean, I feel like I'm crying for my brother right here, right? But look, that hire of Zach Robinson, is proven to be spotty because clearly, my problem is I don't know how I should really go all in saying that these guys got to go when clearly this year has been non-traditional to say the least. From the moment they paid Kirk Cousins to the second they drafted Michael Penix to the third where they said, you know what, we're going to play two quarterbacks in 1 year. I'm not sure what the expectation is because the normal football 1-on-1, you have two quarterbacks, you have zero. Okay, so I can't really sit here and say, oh, okay, he should be on a hot seat. Clearly, they was juggling two things at once. Clearly, they made the transition from one quarterback to a rookie quarterback late in the season. Like, what am I expecting? But at the same time, I do think he should be accountable for that game, obviously. And I think the play caller, Zach Robinson, should be accounted for. Obviously, he abandoned the running game. B. John Robinson had 13 carries for 82 yards in the first half. He only had 4 carries and 8 yards the rest of the way. They put too much pressure on that rookie quarterback. And to be fair to the rookie quarterback, Michael Penix, he made some high-level throws, including the one to Kyle Pitts, and I get it. But you do got to do a better job as a head coach, as a caller, to really take some of that pressure off of Michael Penix and put him in a great situation to succeed. And I think we just saw rookies on the job on Sunday night, and I think they should get another shot.
Real quick, I want to mention this too because the last regime, same thing. They abandoned the run to focus on the quarterback play and put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Now I'm trying to question who's calling the plays. I'm not to question that because that might be a front office play because how the hell two different coach regimes make the same mistake?
Same mistake.
And not running the football. Not running the ball with Bijan Robinson. They're tough. I'm confused by that. Now I'm getting more frustrated when I'm going to talk about this Atlanta Falcons team because this Falcons team is so dysfunctional. It makes zero sense what they're doing. You're like, what was the psyche of bringing in Kirk Cousins, paying him all that money, establishing him as a locker room leader, and then a few weeks later, draft Michael Penix? What are you saying? Those are two guys coming to the same organization at the same time. What are you establishing there? That doesn't make sense.
At least with
you said this before. The quarterback, whether you like it or not, is established as the leader of the locker room.
Absolutely.
He's the guy in the locker room. He's the one that you look to. But then when you got two different quarterbacks playing in the same season, one of 10+ year veteran, the other guy just fresh into the league, still got Similac, breath still smell like Similac, brother. Like, how are you supposed to look up to? And then the coach is second guessing himself. He don't know what to do. The front office is doing a bunch of things. They don't know what they're doing. The owner is hiring people without even really considering what it means to their franchise. He don't know what to do. This is crazy. This team went from a desirable destination with all this talent, all this exuberance, something to look forward to, a bright future. And now it's crumbling back down. It makes zero sense that happened so quickly.
To be fair, I do see a point. You bring in two new quarterbacks to your organization. This is not Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers was in Green Bay. He didn't just come to Green Bay when they took Jordan Love. They clearly, paid Kirk Cousins, brand new to the team, and drafted Michael Penix. That's very unorthodox, right? And I get that point. However, the move proved to be successful because clearly Kirk Cousins is not the guy anymore. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was just like a mini slump, that he had or whatever. I don't know what it was. But clearly, Michael Penix is the way to go for me. I think he operates his offense clearly better than Kirk Cousins.
No, 100%. It just doesn't make sense. You paid him all this money off an Achilles tear, and then bring him in as his captain and do all these introduction interviews, and then you draft Michael Penix a couple weeks later. What was happening in a couple weeks?
To be honest with you, when you're coming up an Achilles tear, you already got that already messed with your psyche. Then you're going to draft a young quarterback behind me. It's really going to hurt his confidence. You know what I mean? Like that guy, he's human.
Because remember, they were the only team that brought in two new quarterbacks. The Steelers brought in two new quarterbacks, but the difference was the Steelers have an established leader. The Falcons are still looking for that guy. They don't have a single established leader in that locker room. Everybody's young over there. They're all 25, 26 guys over there. They're good players, very talented, but they need somebody to go in there and mold that team together, know how to play together as a team, not as individuals. Right now, they just got a bunch of individuals on one team.
I want to talk about this play before we move on, because to me, this was the play of the game. 4th and 5, they trail in the Commanders, and Jaden Daniels hits his guy on 4th down. That's the play of the game. Obviously, the Falcons would have been in good field position, and they would have been able to expand that lead. So clearly, you do have to give credit before we leave here to Jaden Daniels. This guy's playing with a lot of confidence right now. He's the reason why they're going to be a little bit dangerous, I think they're too young. So I think there's a cap on how far they can go this year. But the reason why maybe to the team they play in the first round, they could be very dangerous is because on those money downs, 3rd and 4th, he always seems to deliver. And that's something that, it's hard to stop. Obviously, clearly, if you can't get up the field on 3rd and 4th down, then you're going to be a tough team to beat. So salute to my guy, Jaden Daniels.
Real quick, I just want to talk about the Commanders real quick. They're playing with house money going into the playoffs. No one expected them to be there. No one expected them to even have a winning season. They thought it was a transition year. They're rebuilding X, Y, and Z. Clearly, a lot of people are going to get paid. A lot of people might get hired as head coaches or different organizations, different places based on the run that they could have. They're playing with house money. Everyone's just going to be playing free, while the other team they may play may be having the team with a lot of expectations. Because then it's going to be a difficult situation.
I agree.
Please like and subscribe for all the up-to-date content. You've been slinging shows left and right, slinging content left and right. Please don't miss anything. If you do, like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a question, something you may want to answer, something you may have. All ideas are great ideas. Nothing's a dumb question.